Should T.O. Terrell Owens be in the Hall of Fame? You know, watching football, being a big football fan, playing football, you know who's good, you know who's not, and even though this is an injustice for T.O., and not really for us, who cares who makes the Hall of Fame or not? It's just an honorary thing. You like to see things done with consistency, and this definitely isn't. Terrell Owens, T.O., should be a Hall of Famer. If you watched him play football, he was always one of the best and most dominant players in the league. You don't believe me? Ask all the defensive coordinators that altered their defensive plans for him. This guy, I believe, second in yards all time, eighth in receptions, and third in touchdowns as a wide receiver, and was a force. First with San Francisco, then with Philly, then with Dallas. Then he went to a couple other teams when he was older. But this guy did work, man. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And, a lot of times they don't put people in the Hall of Fame because of the way they may have talked to people in the press or some reputation. But if you look at his numbers on the football field, this guy's a Hall of Famer. Second in receiving yards to Jerry Rice. He has more receiving yards than Moss. Third in touchdowns, right behind Jerry Rice and Moss. And if you remember that Super Bowl against the Patriots, he wasn't the one bending over throwing up. He was ready to play. The man played on a broken leg, a healed broken leg, and caught over 100 yards and got over 100 yards in reception. So this guy is a force, man. This guy was one hell of a player. And if you think about T.O., it just goes to show you that in life, like everything else, it's not a meritocracy. I mean, if you look at who our president is, or Hillary Clinton, or anybody running like that, these people weren't meritorious. Those weren't the best we have to offer to be our president or whatever, Hillary or Trump. These guys, it's not about a meritocracy. It's about who you know your position and who's going to do things for you. And the Hall of Fame is like that, too. Some of the guys in the Hall of Fame are marginal players. There's some guys that are there, like Kurt Warner. I think he deserves to be there, but he wasn't a dominant player to the level of Terrell Owens. I think LaDainian Tomlinson was better or just as good as T.O. He's in there. I think he's at the same level of Terrell Owens, and he's there. And the reason why Terrell Owens isn't there is real simple. It's that people have a perception of him that they don't like. He wasn't a subservient guy. So he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt, and they're punishing him by not putting him in the Hall of Fame. And his battle with this guy, case in point, who's probably will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, is one of the things that is key to this. Now, in Dallas, when T.O. went there, he went around the time when Dallas was, on the upswing again. Had Parcells coaching at first, and Tony Romo took over the starting job from Drew fall down and get hurt. Bledsoe, and everything was working out well. Terrell Owens was there, Witten was there. So if you're a quarterback, you have a safety valve tight end. Jason catch the ball, fall down immediately, and move very slowly. But he was good hands and could catch. And when he caught the ball, he would fall because he couldn't run. And then you had T.O., who was a game breaker, who could go deep, go short, make plays. They had a good thing in Dallas. I think y'all remember the video when T.O. said about Tony Romo, he's my quarterback. I love my quarterback. And all that foolishness. Well, what happened in Dallas was this. Jason Witten, I guess, considered himself the man or whatever. He was good friends with Tony Romo. And these guys, allegedly, T.O. definitely thought this happened, were designing plays nights before games and things like that. And he wasn't involved in the game plan. It was to make Jason look great. This is silly and stupid, but, in sports and football, these kind of things happen. You protect your friend, your boy, and make him the most dominant player, him to be the one getting the attention. And, you take this farm boy over here, he wants that, and, they'll do anything for him in Dallas because he's the right kind of player. Look at him. That's what Jerry Jones wants to be the star. Not the Dak Prescott's or Ezekiel Elliott's. He wants the Romos and this guy. So Dallas is a weird place when it comes to that stuff. They want to win, but they want the right person to be leading them. So they're kind of weird. The reason why T.O.'s not in the Hall of Fame, though, is nerds like these guys here. You got Skip Bayless. I'm not going to say anything negative about him and what he likes because, it's not my concern. And his faithful man Friday here, Stephen A. Smith, T.O. has become like what they call like a whipping boy, somebody that you want to always put down. He was the wrong type of black person. He was rebellious. He spoke out. He does push-ups and sit-ups in his in his driveway. He isn't the right kind of guy, and because of that, they speak negatively of him. They put him down, and he's the guy you're to hate. He's like the Floyd Mayweather. It was like the Floyd Mayweather of football. And not in boxing, you see them try to do that to Andre Ward. It's not going to stick, but they attempt to. They always want to have somebody that they hate and that they put down and they speak negatively of, especially if they're black, because that sells. They know that some blacks will support them, and they know that whites will enjoy hating this guy, especially if he has talent. And that's what Terrell Owens ended up being. Now you have the other sports writers and things like that who ran into T.O. that T.O. maybe wasn't as nice to, didn't kiss their butt and stuff like that. They don't want to put him in the Hall of Fame because of that too. Because they all believe in this group think. And that's what these guys do. And now you have a guy who's deserving to be in the Hall of Fame, and he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. They'll probably make him wait till he gets a little bit older, make him sweat it out. And in a couple of years, they'll probably put him in the Hall of Fame, especially when younger people come in and kind of look at what he did on the field and not these biased opinions of, Skip and this man Friday here, cooning for Massa. So anyway, T.O. should be a Hall of Famer. The numbers show it, period.